50,000 miles. Let's talk about everything that's wrong with you. All right, she's dirty right now. 50,000 mile report. What is wrong with you? Right now, nothing. So, the tire. She got a new tire. It was covered under a plan that I purchased. And so they remounted and rebalanced it. What's kind of crazy is when they remounted it, they took all the weights off, the wheel weights off there. So when I hit the pothole, it actually didn't damage the wheel at all. But what I did notice was that there's like flaking off of the wheel right there. Some of the finish is flaking off. So that kind of sucks. I want to say that that probably is covered. I just don't feel like going back to the dealership to get that addressed. I probably should have mentioned it when I picked it up, but it was late, and yeah, I just wanted my car back. So, but the wheel is all right. The wheel didn't need to be fixed, and the suspension was okay. So, 50 grand. Actually, let's go to the other side. Man, it's dirty. Now, you probably noticed the blue masking tape up front, and that is because when they towed my car, my easy lip it got dragged, so it didn't remove it, but it pulled back the corners. So I just took like a side molding glue, and I just re-adhered it. That seems to work best. I mean, I've been dealing with easy lips for a long time. I've never screw tapped it to any of my bumpers. I've just used the 3M adhesive. So that seems to do the trick. Now, 50,000 miles. What all did they fix? So when I first got the car, I knew I had like 4 months of warranty left, and basically for the month and a half that I had before hitting like 50,000 miles, or a couple months before I hit 50,000 miles, I took note of everything that I wanted them to address. Anything that I thought was out of the ordinary as far as probably could be replaced under warranty, I had taken notes, and I had mentioned it at the very end, asked them to replace it, and they did. So before, there was this paddle, the right paddle, basically this like chrome part right here was starting to peel off, particularly right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I think these paddles, they're plastic with like a metal foil on it. You can see it's taking some of my skin there. Yeah, it's not smooth right here. So I don't know if they're gonna fix that, but we'll try. It wasn't really starting to peel off. It was just like starting to gap in between, so I could basically feel it and push it off with my fingers. I didn't, but I was telling them, it's like, yeah, it's chafing my fingers. It's supposed to be smooth, but it's not. And they replaced that. Another thing is the weather sealant, or the weather stripping here, are these door seals. See right here? It's cracked. So it's cracked right along there. Yeah, we'll see. They this was basically completely worn, and you could see right through it. I read on the forums, and usually they don't replace that, but they did, so they replaced that. And I told them that there was this like strange knocking noise at low speed, especially when parking, going lock to lock. And I heard it maybe a handful of times. And turns out that was like thrust bushing. So they had to replace, I believe, like a thrust bushing control arm or something or other. Anyways, let's see. This was, oh yeah. So the right window would stick, and it wouldn't. I would basically roll it down halfway, and then if I were to roll it up, it would go up, and then it would go back down. They addressed that, and it seems like nothing was wrong with it. And I haven't had any issues since, so it's kind of weird that they got that addressed. Right here. So, thrust bushings. So they found that the thrust bushings were torn. They replaced both tension struts and thrust arm bushings. I think that only comes to like $250 for all the parts. And with labor, that would have been like $1,000 dealership job. But that was covered, and they fixed it. Apparently, these things tend to go out around every, like they only last like 40 to 50,000 miles. So if you hear that knocking, that's what it is. But yeah, so that was covered. And yeah, did brake fluid, just under service. So because it was still under warranty, I still had the maintenance package on there, and they did brake fluid service. You have to do brake fluid, brake flushing, I think every like 20,000 miles or every other year. You know, weather stripping, fix that. And the chrome trim on the pedal shifter. Yeah. So that is it. So knock on wood, faux wood. She's been pretty solid. Yeah, and I just did cleaned the steering wheel, and I treated it. I did a leather treatment on the dash and the steering wheel. So got that all nice and clean, including the seats. But yeah, no issues as of right now. Although I did install something, and I'll share with you guys that in the next video. So stay tuned. See you guys later. Bye.